Hello, everybody. Welcome home and welcome to the Executive Movie Industry Tycoon. This is the beginning of an experiment that I am undertaking for this channel and for myself. The primary content for this channel has been and will be nostalgia games that I love and that I very much want to play again and to share with everyone. Those are all the games that I have a lot of history with, a lot of stories I can tell, share my emotional connections with those games. But every so often I'm gonna come across these new indie titles or newer games that I hear about and test out for myself and really fall in love with and really want to play more of, and I like to share a lot of those experiences with people. So I'm gonna kind of get sprinkle in games that don't fit the nostalgia feel. Every so often I'll come up with a time frame in which I'll sprinkle them in, but I just didn't want to have to wait for the end of a long series per se to release these things I want to share with everyone. So some days you'll get more than one video from me is what it kind of boils down to. I saw this one on one of my favorite YouTube channels, played it through twice, loved it. I've also played on harder difficulties and lost a couple times as well. It's a fun business simulator with a kind of a movie CEO theme. We run a production company for movies in Hollywood. We create movies, pair up themes and genres, hire producers, hire a staff, talk about distribution rights, get home video deals, all kinds of stuff. I'm just trying to make as much money as we can. And it's fun, little creative outlet to get to kind of flex my creative muscle and come up with some fun movie titles. And yeah, it's a fun little game and I really enjoy it. So one thing I do also want to try and experiment as well as putting new games on this channel is I want to try, when I play these games, I want to try and get away from the heavier how-to play aspect that my videos have done up to this point, and just kind of explain things as I go. I don't know a lot about these games, so they won't be told. I want to do some blind playthroughs as well. But this one won't be quite blind. But I don't know everything about this. The developers are constantly updating it. They're very active on Discord and in the community, taking our suggestions and implementing them. One of them for sure that's coming, I've been told, is a modding community will be implemented into this game, which I'm excited to see what people can come up with. But that's what this experiment's going to be about, and I hope you enjoy this game. And if you like it that much, hope maybe pick it up for yourself, because it's a fun little one. So, all right, so yeah, so we can start with 30 million with I guess there's no loan, 30 million with a loan, 30 million with a hard loan, or 20 million and a very difficult loan. So I've played on hard. I haven't finished the game on hard, but I have played on hard a couple of times. I think we're going to do medium for this one, just so I can give you a real showing of how this game works without without going bankrupt too easily. The fun little catch, I don't know if it's a catch. One of the fun aspects about this game is, which you'll see pretty quickly, is all the distribution studios and other movie studios and actors' names and directors' names are of real people, but like the first letter of their first and last names kind of swapped. It's a fun little. Oh, I had the word. What was it? It's a fun little quip, catch. No, that's not right. Quirk. That's the one I'm looking for. It's a fun little quirk. I don't know how long the appeal of that quirk will last. Kind of like replayability of a game. I don't see endless replayability on this game myself, but I've played it through to its completion twice. There isn't an endless mode I haven't looked into yet, but yeah, and I think there's even a mod that people have already have made or are making, in which they'll just use all the real names. I don't know if there's any legality issues behind that, but yeah. So we get to pick our name of our studio. What is one I was using, like Pegasus Pictures before when I used this guy down here. I did do I did do a hack of Lionsgate Studios. What was it? Oh yeah, Tiger Fence Studios. Let's go pictures. And just for S and gigs, we'll say, sure, let's go that one. So then you name your CEO. My go-to has been, and this is exactly what the game does with their naming scheme, is I'll just go with Steven Spielberg. It's kind of been my go-to. You pick yourself an avatar, and off you go. All right, so we got a whole bunch of stuff on our screen, but not much we can actually do quite yet. But the first thing we need to do is release a movie in theaters. So we'll go down to our pre-production. We can pick a budget size. We can only have small to start with, and then we have access to all the genres. And they may release more. Actually, I'm pretty sure they're going to release more. I think animated is actually one of them they're going to be releasing. But the themes are what you have to work with. There are 66 themes, and you only start with 10, and you unlock them as you go. What should we make first? So we're very much an indie studio. We want to try and release the best movie possible to get ourselves noticed. Let's go with a war drama. Going to be rated R. So we pick a director. Directors are rated based on 6 different traits. So domestic popularity, international popularity, critics popularity, script, the affinity with your script, how much they like it, how much their upfront cost is, and how large of a piece of our profit pie they will take for their services. So generally speaking, I'll sort by domestic to try and get as much revenue as I can. So 19 is our tops. Early on, the directors don't take a big or any cut whatsoever. But we want someone that is pretty well rounded. I want someone who's pretty well rounded as far as their overall appeal, and I think we're gonna go with Waxkull Hexler. Cost us 20 grand. The critics love him. He's quite fond of our script, and the most we're going to get out of domestic popularity right now is only 19. So 18 is about as good as it's going to get. He's cheap, doesn't want any part of our gross profits, net profits. And same thing for actors. So 19 is as high as we're going to go. What do we think here? So generally speaking, I'm looking for 2 circles either in blue or like one blue, one green. Obviously you can see red is bad, purple is not good, orange is decent, yellow is good, blue is great, and green is excellent. Can we find anything down here? So we got a couple of greens with Jorge Gremilton. I know it's George, but we're gonna go with it because it looks like Jorge. He's 20 grand. He's only got 13 domestic, which... nope. We're going to go with Selvin Muglis. Pretty good right across the board. Yeah, that's our guy. Okay, so then we pick our production team. All we have is our CEO. He's got 3 different skills: production, networking, and insights. We need production, features, and reputation for producers, but he only has the one because he has 1 skill out of... You'll see it. It'll become clear later. We have normal full-on producers have these 3. He's a producer. He's part producer. He's part analyst, and he's part sales. Is what it basically comes down to. So we'll pick Mr. Spielberg. Now we need a name. I'm early on. I was just doing puns. What are some of my great examples of my early successful movies? I had a great series of movies in one of my playthroughs that was a detective mystery, and it was Murdoch Combs. You can guess what that's a pun on. But I'm also trying to think of actually clever original movie names, or at least movie names I've never heard of before, which there are a lot out there. A war drama in 1970 could even be like from the Korean War. It doesn't have to be a world war. let's just go with Behind the Line. Some of mine I think, are a bit more clever than others, but I know that one isn't perfect, but let's roll with it. So we unpause. So we have no staff. He can't do anything else but work on this movie. And so pre-production is in the works. This is how much we've spent so far. This will be the release date once we figure that out. So once we finish pre-production, then we come into this screen, which is basically where the strategy kind of comes in for this game, is based, and the programming of the game I have found is actually pretty darn accurate as far as, you know, if you wouldn't pair like a family genre with a war theme. That's not going to draw. That's not going to be a good movie. The game seems to reward you as far as pretty close to real life as you can get. There's actually was one pairing that they've released statements saying that they messed up and they programmed it wrong. The vampire romance movie was originally a flop in the early stages of this game. So we're making a war drama, which I think is pretty good, but now it's up to us to decide, based on how we think it should go as amateur producers, you know, how much of our budget should we put into writing, how much we put our budget into our costume and makeup, and how much of our budget should we put into set design. Dramas always need good writing. I'm pretty sure of that. War drama is going to need all of this. I mean, so we need our total base budget allocation to be between 85 and 100%. Set design's pretty important. So this is where the game this is where the game lies, is doing your planning for your movie. When if and when it doesn't do well, with critics or in theaters or at the box office, you run reports afterwards, and based on how well of a report you've written, based on your skills, it tells you where you did well and where you did wrong and where you can do better next time. So we're writing the script, the screenplay. Okay, so now we're into post-production. So how much do we want to spend on special effects, how much on sound design and music, and how much are we going to edit the movie? For a war drama, sound design and music probably isn't a huge deal, at least compared to like a musical. Excuse me. Probably a lot of editing will be needed to be done, and maybe a few special effects. There are premium features we will unlock, such things as like specific wardrobes. We'll get into that, and you can spend extra money to add those features to your film, and like you wouldn't. There's one of them is like catchphrases and like, you know, nomenclature. That's not the right. Is that the right word? Nomenclature. One's like one's a scripting premium feature, like adding catchphrases and quips and that kind of stuff. You never spend money to add catchphrases to a war drama. So if you spent the extra money to add that to this film, it might even make it worse. So it's not only knowing where these sliders should go, but also what proper features you want to add to your movie. So we spent $1.56 million on this. We're filming it, and I believe the next step will be distribution. Yes. So there'll be 4 different options. Go through a third party, both domestic or worldwide, or you can do it yourself with a marketing department, which we will unlock eventually if we succeed. So for now, we'll just go to third party domestic. We don't have a sales team member, so we can't actually add to these skills. When you meet the target, excuse me, I thought I'd talked more than I have today, but obviously I have not. Excuse me. Your goal is to have a sales team member with skill as a target to 20 for a small movie. If you can do that, then the domestic options, which we will see shortly, will be better for us. So the third-party releasers will take a huge chunk of our profits. The better your sales team, the better deals you're going to get. And I know I'm doing more how-to than I usually would. So we got 2 options: PIA or untied artists. These guys specialize in action and sci-fi. These guys specialize in animation and fantasy. You also need to be aware of what other events in the world you're releasing your movie up against. So you obviously want to release a horror movie around Halloween, because that's the right time of year to do that. You pick on the details. It tells you what other movies are being released. You want to avoid direct competition based on your theme, your genre, and also your rating. If you can avoid releasing against other rated R movies, then you're better off. And then this is how their prestige level. I think we better go. Let's go. It's a high. So they're taking half of our revenue, which sucks. But I think based on the fact that there's no they're not releasing anything else that month, we're gonna go with them. So we're gonna fast forward. All right, so then we get reviews, and we did very well. What, I hit a home run. So yeah, so critics love it, fans love it. Let's see how it does at the theaters. So at the end of each month, so it'll run in the theater for about 3 months. So it cost us $2 million, and we made almost all of it back in the first month alone. I would personally like to see kind of a, I can tell right here that our CEO is currently idle. He's doing absolutely nothing. So what we're going to do is, while we're just kind of bumming around here, talking about the game, we're going to get him training on all of his skills at once. Self-learning trains all of his skills. That's what that book means. I think I'd like to see... I'd like to see them focus more on opening weekend more than like I'd like to see an opening weekend thing be a thing, because that's a huge thing for big movies. I haven't actually made any blockbuster size movies yet, but I've made a few large ones. So the movie leaves theaters, and you get your little box office performance grading, and also your film's financials. Tells you where all your money went. And we did pretty well. We can't mark it yet, so we're going to get a low grade there. I do believe that some of these are actually kind of broken or bugged. Because we didn't use a single premium feature, and yet we still got a B. So I'm pretty sure they're working on that. I don't think... I have made a lot of movies so far, and I've not yet once ever had a score above a B. I've seen screenshots of people that have gotten them on Discord and stuff, but I've not personally made one yet. So I don't think this works perfectly yet. So we made $750,000, not too shabby. So now we have a few tasks or mini quests, I guess, to do. We get a little bit of bonus to complete these. Kind of gets the ball rolling for you. Gets you on your way. So we're gonna run an analysis on Behind the Line, and because there's nobody else here, we'll just go ahead and also, so there are awards. There's awards season. The end of every year has got an award season, and you can see the funny names that are here. If you get nominated for, I think there's the Gaspars and there's the Romies, I think it is. If you get nominated, the window pops up for you automatically, so you don't have to go checking that every time. If this pops up here saying that the nominees have been revealed, and you don't get the pop-up that's like the whole screen, then you didn't get nominated. All right, so we learned that. So it gives us a box office performance again. I'm hoping that in a future update, they're going to start being a bit more detailed on these. Hopefully not to the point where they're, really holding your hand on it. As you may know, that's not my jam. I like to figure things out for myself. But if it's a mystery that I want to figure out and I can dig, that's exciting. If it just says nope, you blew it, and no feedback, that's frustrating, and that's where I will side with a lot of people that don't like how that works. But we did learn that going forward, making dramas rated R is an excellent pairing, and making a drama war movie is also an excellent pairing. So we did well. And we just got $2 million for doing that, and then we get to do some unlocking. So we go to our research. So this is a huge, well, it's not huge. This is a kind of a talent tree, so to speak. We get research points by making movies and doing reports and that kind of stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to unlock some new themes. So we have 10 of 66. You spend 30 of the research points, and you get to unlock 2. They give you 4, and you get to pick 2 of them. I've been pretty successful with doing high school movies, and I am a fan of fantasy. So we're gonna go with some night stuff, and we'll stop there. So let me release another movie. As we progress, we'll be able to. I can't do it quite yet. I need an analytics department. We'll be able to hire analysts that can project what genres and what themes are going to be popular, and we can make movies accordingly. So I like to think that's a small part of this game, which is like, you know, you want to make good movies for the passion of the art, but this really is a business simulator, and you're here to make money. So, yeah, that's a pretty good start for this episode, I think. Though it's not not too long an episode, but let me know what you think, if this is your jam or not. I played this game through, like I said, two times to completion, and I'm still enjoying it. I still like the idea of coming up with fun names for movies and coming up with, you know, I don't write the scripts in my head, but I come up with, you know, when I'm thinking about the genre and the theme I want to pair, I think about a movie I like or something I'd like to see, and then I just kind of roll it from there. But let me know what you think. And yeah, I think I'll post a few more of these at least, and if it happens to become popular, then we'll keep it going. But thanks you so much for joining me for this. I hope you enjoy this experiment, and I hope you enjoy seeing other experimental videos like this in the future. And as always, be kind, be strong, and be awesome. And take care of yourselves out there, okay?